Hello and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Standard Voice Television Global News. Today, 27th August 2026, equivalent to Islamic calendar, 14th Rabiul Awal 1448 after Hijrah. I am Rahama Ibrahim Dosara with the headlines. President Tinubu says Nigeria-Thailand ties deepen across technology, agriculture and renewable energy. Defense Minister Matawale reaffirms commitment to develop Daikon to meet armed forces requirements. Security agencies kills scores of bandits launch air operation in Sokoto. And on international scene, authorities confirm over 160 dead, 647 missing as flood devastates Nepal. And on sports update, NFF President Gusau, other board members resign over Falcons' failure to qualify for World Cup. This and more will be coming to you in the bulletin. Stand by. Nigeria and Thailand have reiterated their commitments to deepen relations across technology, agriculture, commerce, and renewable energy, among other areas of strategic interest. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who disclosed this during a meeting with Thailand's delegation led by its Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Hassan Kalawi at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, acknowledged the existing cordial relationship between Nigeria and Thailand. He noted that to this effect, Nigeria is pushing for a review of existing partnerships between both countries, leveraging Thailand's comparative advantage in deploying intermediate technology in agriculture and related areas. Shettima said Thailand, on the other hand, is proposing a Thailand-Africa initiative that aims to boost relationship between the Asian country. Earlier, Deputy Prime Minister Kalawi commended the ongoing transformation in Nigeria, describing the country as a strategic partner with Thailand, a strong voice in the global south, and an emerging leader in e-commerce. The presidency says All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council list for the 2027 election has not been withdrawn. Some adjustments will be made to the structure. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communication, Sunday Dari, gave the clarification during an interview on Channels Television Sunrise Daily. Dari's explanation is coming amid controversy over the composition of the council, particularly the inclusion of some party leaders and the absence of others, which had sparked reports that the list was being reconsidered. The presidential aide said the list remained valid because the campaign structure was not yet complete, with several subcommittees still to be constituted. He also referred to a statement issued by the APC insisting that the party had not withdrawn the list, adding that the planned subcommittees would provide room for more party members and political stakeholders to be accommodated within the campaign structure. Transparency Watch, a good governance and accountability group, has applauded the appointment of Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar as Director General of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council. The Director of Public Affairs of the APC-aligned groups, Clive Richard, in a statement said Yari demonstrated sufficient experience in governance and party politics to handle the responsibility. Richard, who expressed confidence in his ability to mobilize support and deliver victory for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 election, described the former Zamfara governor's appointment as well-deserved, citing his political experience, commitment, and contributions to the affairs of the ruling party. Similarly, the North Central APC Forum expressed optimism in Yari's ability to deliver victory for Tinubu and the APC in the 2027 election. Chairman of the forum, Sali Zazaga, in a statement, congratulated the former governor on his appointment and lauded the selection of two other North Central members, James Faleke and Okpoku Ogenyi, into the campaign council. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is expected to display the list of candidates nominated by political parties for the February 6, 2027 governorship and state houses of assembly elections on Saturday, August 29. According to INEC's timetable, the governorship election will be held in 28 states, while state houses of assembly elections will take place across the 36 states of the Federation. It stated that governorship elections will not be held in Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, Edo, Bayelsa, Anambra, Imo, and Kogi states. The 22 registered political parties are expected to field fresh candidates in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Yobe, Borno, Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Kwara, and Nasarawa states, where incumbent governors' tenures will expire in 2027. Meanwhile, political parties contesting the presidential and National Assembly elections have until Saturday, August 29, to submit their final list of candidates to INEC. The federal government has launched 100 electric buses under the renewed Hope Mass Transit program to ease transportation challenges for federal civil servants and improve workers' welfare. The head of civil service of the Federation, Didi Walsanjak, who unveiled the buses at Eagle Square, Abuja, described the initiative as a major milestone in efforts to improve the welfare of civil servants. She noted that the first phase of the program comprises 37 of the 100 buses approved under the renewed Hope Mass Transit program. Walsanjak also described the commissioning as her parting gift to federal civil servants, coming in less than 24 hours before the end of her tenure as head of the civil service. The head of civil service said transportation had a significant impact on workers' finances, safety, punctuality, and productivity. Other than that, affordable and reliable transportation would help reduce the burden on civil servants. The federal government has reiterated its commitment to developing a strong, self-reliant, and capable defense industry that can meet the requirements of armed forces while contributing to national industrialization and economic development. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Muhammad Matawalli, made the assertions in Abuja at the 7th Nigeria-Turkey Defense Industries Corporation meeting, the ICM, in a statement by his personal assistant and media, Ahmad Danwudil. He also stressed that Nigeria's objective is not only to strengthen the operational capacity of the armed forces, but also to establish a sustainable defense industrial ecosystem capable of delivering critical military equipment, technologies, and services locally. On his part, the Turkish Defense Industry Delegation Lead and Vice President of the Presidency of Defense Industries, Gökhan Yukar, highlighted the long-standing defense relationship between Nigeria and Turkey, noting that both countries have maintained strong ties over the years. This news is coming to you on Standard Voice Television and still to come in the news. Security agencies kill scores of bandits launch air operation in Sokoto. And an international scene, authorities confirm over 160 dead, 647 missing as flood devastates Nepal, Tibet. And on sports updates, NFF President Gusau, other board members resign over Falcons' failure to qualify for World Cup. Welcome back, and now the news continues. Security agencies have killed scores of bandits in a failed attempt attack on Sifawa town in Bodinga local government area of Sokoto State. It was gathered that the criminals stormed the town at about 10 a.m. advancing from Horo village in neighboring Chagari local government area in an attempt to overrun the military barracks in Sifawa. The attack triggered a fires-gun battle between the assailants and security personnel comprising soldiers and police officers stationed in the town. A security source confirmed that military air operations were underway in the surrounding bushes where the fleeing bandits were believed to have taken refuge. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State Police Command spokesperson, the SP Ahmed Rufai, who confirmed the incident, said security personnel were on top of the situation. The federal government has unveiled a $1 billion social protection program designed to shift vulnerable Nigerians from temporary relief to lasting economic empowerment, self-reliance. The Household Prosperity and Empowerment Social Protection Project, HOPE SP, was launched at the State House in Abuja, alongside 4 additional programs aimed at bolstering the nation's humanitarian response and poverty reduction framework. The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, in a keynote address, said the initiative represented an important step towards improving the lives of vulnerable individuals, families, and communities across the country. Also, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Bernard M. Doro, noted that the new initiative marked the establishment of a new national architecture for humanitarian intervention and social protection, with government shifting its emphasis from reactive palliatives to proactive empowerment. Governor Ubasani of Kaduna State has appealed to citizens to live peacefully with one another for the development of the state. He made the call during this year's Eid al-Mawlud celebration held on 12th Rabiul Awwal, 1448 after Hijrah at the Murtala Muhammad Square, Kaduna. Standard Voice television correspondent Muhammad Idris with the report.
In the early hours of 12th Rabiul Awwal, the Kaduna State Governor Obusani assured the August gathering that his administration will not relent in implementing people-oriented programs that will ensure that the people benefited from much talked about dividend of democracy. The Commissioner of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Kaduna State, Sadiq Mama Legas, lent his voice on the occasion. The traditional title holder, Habu Muhammad Katukan Donghunu, and a politician, Ali Muhammad Bilma, have advised Muslim faithful to strictly follow the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
The teaching of the Holy Prophets is to keep peace, be united, and emulate the good teachings of his Prophet, which is the Sunnah. You understand? Extend hand to your neighbor, pray as he prays, pray and watch and worship the way the message of worshiping came to him, which means it's in an elaborate form. So,
my message to the Muslim world, this is a day that we celebrate the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to celebrate his birthday. So I want the whole Muslim all over the world to emulate the Prophet character, to exhibit his patience, his contribution to humanity.
Meanwhile, the federal government have declared 25 August 2026 equivalent to 12 Rabiul Awwal as public holiday throughout the country. Muhammad Idris, Standard Voice Television.
And on international scene, about 647 people are missing and 160 have died after a catastrophic surge of flood water, mud and debris swept through Himalayan valleys in Nepal and Tibet, leaving communities devastated on both sides of the China-Nepal border. According to Nepali authorities and Chinese state media, the combined figure of missing people comprises 391 reported missing in Nepal, including 291 foreigners and 265 in Tibet. Nepal reported 157 deaths, while China's state media said 3 people had died in Tibet, bringing the reported death toll across the two sides to 160. The disaster has triggered a large-scale search and rescue operation as authorities race to locate hundreds of people, including foreign tourists, pilgrims, border officials, security personnel, and residents caught in the sudden flooding. It was gathered that the disaster struck a region of profound religious significance, which was crowded with pilgrims and trekkers traveling towards sacred sites in the Himalayas. Nepal's Foreign Minister Shishir Kanal said the government had received preliminary information that an avalanche had occurred in the affected region. And in sports update, the president of Nigeria Football Federation (NFF), Ibrahim Gusau, and other board members have resigned following the failure of the Super Falcons to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup for the first time. It was gathered that the board had been barred by security agents as it came under scrutiny over the mismanagement of funds released by the federal government for the national football teams. The Department of State Service, DSS, joined other security operatives in proving the NFF over the utilization of the 17 billion naira federal government intervention fund released to the Federation for players' wages and bonuses. The fund was approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2024 to clear outstanding payments owed to Nigeria's national team. The DSS had beamed their satellites on officials of NFF to show proof of what they did with the massive fund released to the glass house. And that's all we have for today's package, but before we go, let's take a recap of the major headlines. President Tinubu says Nigeria-Thailand ties deepen across technology, agriculture, and renewable energy. Defense Minister Matawale reaffirms commitment to develop Daikon to meet armed forces requirements. Security agencies kills scores of bandits launch air operation in Sokoto. And in international scene, authorities confirm over 160 dead, 647 missing as flood devastates Nepal. And on sports update, NFF President Gusau, other board members resign over Falcons' failure to qualify for World Cup. And that was a recap for the major headlines on Standard Voice Television Global News. On behalf of the news editor, Ilya Adamu Auta, and the production team, I still remain Rahama Ibrahim Dusar. Do have a nice day and keep watching Standard Voice Television.